I had no idea this thing was this easy to change out the front on. It's 2 bolts, for crying out loud. There's one here and one here, and then you got this little shelf mechanism. You can see where it hooks in right here and here. You just rock it forward out, but the bolts just go into here. There's not even any nut or anything to hold on the backside. But basically there's a brass bushing in there that's shot. I'd sure like to get some grease on it at least before I turn it loose. Let my sister run with this for a while. Isn't that interesting? The whole thing just splits in half. That could be handy in a number of ways. Each half weighs quite a bit. You split them in half, it's a little more manageable. By getting this apart, I can also get to this chain and put some motorcycle chain stuff on it. I had no idea. I'd done this a long time ago. Man, I wish I had easy access to parts on these things. You see a big crack in that bushing in there. And like I say, there's just, it's a gold miner's dream. There's gold colored dust everywhere. So this is a spring-loaded brake. It helps to stop this, and it does a really good job. It doesn't want to move, basically. But you remove the brake a little bit and get it to move freely. But you can also inspect it for play. You can see this one's just shot. It was due for grease a long time ago, when I got it, in fact. This is probably machine abuse, but I don't have a puller for this. So what I'm doing is I'm just drying up on the whole thing. And just pushing that through. I've about got the cotter key or Woodruff key about all the way through. Mushroom. Get some penetrant on it. Looks like there's a couple of holes on this thing. There's one here and one here. I don't see that they're threaded though. So I got out the tap and die set just to see what was close, and a 1032 fits. So we're gonna try that. Wish I hadn't banged on it now. I think I may have mushroomed this. Those holes are so stupid small. Put a 1032, put a nut behind it. It just stripped the threads right off of it. I mean, it's smooth. Thought it was falling up, it wasn't. Because I banged on this so hard, I really mushroomed it out and made a mess of it. What kind of mess? Well, I went through about 4 or 5 of these, because these are the smallest or biggest bolt that fits in those small little holes. Couldn't get them to come out, I had to cut some off. It wasn't threaded after all. So long story short, I had to go around and trim all of the perimeter of it with this cutoff tool. Once I did that, then I was able to get it to come off with the aid of some stainless steel pan bolts. And I found that the strongest setup was the 10 by 24. The threads were thick enough to where it didn't get that initial slide. 1032s, it just ripped right up. So 1024 stainless steel, has some chewy, heavy duty stuff. And that's what's working. So I just about got it off. Those holes, I believe they're small as they are because they don't want you to bend this. If you were to go with larger bolts and it were to be stuck, basically these are like a mechanical fuse. They break before you bend up your pulley. So to get these on, given that they're not threaded, you heard me right when I said that. I used some nuts on the back side. Doesn't really matter stainless steel or not. I went ahead with stainless just because I'm tired of making attempts at this and having them fail. So let's take a look at this bushing, shall we? This is the main attraction. The bushing, as you can see, it's rounded out and cracked and shot. You can see where it's cracked right there. You can see where it's rounded out and rattling. So it makes just a terrible noise. So I can't find one of these. I've tried and tried. I've had no luck. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pack that as full of grease as I can. Put it back together. A bunch of 0.5 millimeter or 13 millimeter 1/2 inch. I can't think to save my life. I was up late. It doesn't matter. I'm sleep deprived. I always am. I can't get away from it. So anyway, these stay in place just great. They don't go anywhere. They're like a wheel stud on your wheel hub assembly on your car. They basically stay put. So this thing, it's just rattly. It needs to be replaced basically. So I'm gonna see if I can find one, get that ordered in. I have a serial number, but I have no idea how to get the right part number or whatever because it's listed by year. I have no idea what year this was made. So anyway, I'm gonna just pack this full of grease so that it's at least serviceable for now, and try to use something that's good in the cold and the heat. Looks like the shaft is doing fine. It's just this bushing that's taking the brunt of it. It's just a mess. I don't know what to do with it. I really hate putting it back in, but I don't know what else to do. Got this thing filled with the Valvoline Crimson, and that's just gonna have to do. See if I can find any more information. The next time I get into this, it's gonna be a cakewalk compared to how it was now, because now I know how to get into it, and it's so easy. I mean, you pull the spring off of this, you pull these two bolts, you unhinge the thing, pull a 1/2 inch nut off of the chute aiming shaft, the handle crank, and you're in. It's a piece of cake. I had no idea it'd be so easy. I'd done this a long time ago and saved a bunch of that bushing. Like I say, it does you no good if you don't know what size or how to do it. Say I'm turning my sister loose with this. You know, it's gonna be out of my sight, so I won't be able to save it if this dries out and gets used in harsh conditions. I shaved the bottom of that key off. So 31 jugs or 31, it's 31 something on YouTube. I wish I could remember. I'll put it in the thing. That's what he did to his. He seemed to know what he was talking about, so I did the same to mine. Is that key in there good? Yep. Looks good. Oh, that's smooth. It's nice now. I went too far. Yeah, let's pull that back to where it was. I had good belt alignment before. Trust to do that again. Should have been paying better attention, huh? At least I got this stuff all out ready to rock. So what I did is I just take a nut, put it in these pliers with the 45-degree bend. Just aim it up. Get a screwdriver on your screw, like this. Get my head under there where I can see it. While I'm reaching my hand in there. Use the pliers. I am so stinking tired today. Didn't sleep at all last night. So windy, it's so cold today. The cold just zaps your energy. Wears you out, makes you stupid. Altitude does it, but the cold sure can too. I got both. Hooray! Sounds like old-fashioned. Oh my goodness, that's way controlled. That's perfect. Awesome. Oh, I wish I'd have had the epiphany to not bang on this the first time. I watched somebody pull a steering wheel off a steering column using an impact hammer. Like, this is a fast way. You don't need a specialty tool. Just popped it right off. This was back in the 90s. I was like, wow, that's smart. I should remember that. Stupid, man. Do it right. Use the right tool. So say on the random chance that it's going to not work, you know, say it's effective most of the time, random chance that it doesn't work, it could really screw you over, mangle things up and make a huge mess for you. And now we've got to do a square nut. I'll get it started with some straight needle nose pliers, torque it down. The 12-point socket is divisible by 4. This is by 4 and it fits. 3/8 would be best. 3/8 drive, 3/8 socket. But in a pinch, a 10mm will get you there. That should get in there. That's it. Line up with the brake. Bumps around like it used to. Perfect.